6:42. And at this time, the Weldon City School Board of Education meeting will be called to order. Want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and those of you that are chiming in online, we appreciate your concern and your support of Weldon City School. At this time, we'll have a mission statement, and Ms. Hill, can you read that, please?
Okay, the mission of the Weldon City School District is to create and maintain a highly effective educational system in which every student receives the highest quality education. School employees and parents work together to prepare students to become caring, competent, and responsible citizens who value education as a lifelong process.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hill. At this time, we'll have approval of the agenda. Are there any corrections?
Mr. Chair, I would like to add, an item to the agenda,
Okay,
and that is, superintendent search.
we'll make that number 11.
Mr. Williams,
This
you
one.
finished with it?
Yes.
Okay, I need to add, two things to the agenda.
And they are,
Summer school. The other one is Cognia.
summer school would be number 12. Partner would be number 13. We need to add closed session,
So then we need to go back.
closed session. That would be 14. Board comments be 15, action. Yeah.
You got a board comments after the closed session? Return to closed session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Then we'll have the, closed session approval of 16, action from closed session, excuse me, would be 17, adjournment would be 18.
Mr. Chief. I got off. I heard you said 13 cognitive. You said 14 was closed session, right?
Return to closed session. Or closed session is already.
It was all, yeah, that's what I
So
was
we
just
can
trying to
do that
remember.
now. So that'd be 14,
And 15 board comment,
board comments.
16
16 would
action.
be action from closed session,
And
and 17 will be adjournment.
okay. You said 18
Yeah,
at
you
first.
did. Go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mr. Williams,
Yes, ma'am.
do we want to just add those two things since it comes from Dr. Carpenter and she'll already be up for curriculum instruction? You want to just put it under there?
No, that's fine.
Can we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
So that'll be D and E.
Where we at?
So it's E and then one, then it's A, B, C.
Okay,
Then just-
D would be summer school. And E would be parking. Okay, so then that's gonna change, superintendent section, we go to 11. 11, 12 would be return to closed session. 13 would be board comment. 14 would be action from closed session, and 15 would be adjournment.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
under F, under 6F,
Yes, sir.
we need to delete the athletics grant action, still awaiting some information for that.
That's,
So
it's
we,
hard to hear you. Eight,
he's,
6F, we need to delete the athletics grant, the action, we're still waiting for some information.
okay.
And Ms. Vera Robinson, can you share specifically what you'd like to hear about summer school and housing
Updates.
updates?
okay. Any other changes or deletions? Not then, gotta get a motion to accept.
I make a motion to accept the agenda with the amendments.
Second.
Been motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Barrett Robinson that the agenda be approved with the, recommendation changes. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, next, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
And motion by Ms. Hill. And second by Ms. Barrett Robinson to approve the minutes. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, this time we have recognition of upcoming school events, New High, this Easter. It's Lee, so.
Good evening, everyone, board chair, board members, to our wonderful attendees tonight. I will begin with our recognitions and acknowledgements. We begin with our student of the month. Wilson Elementary Global Academy student of the month is Cheyenne Wilson. Cheyenne is always participating in class and eager to learn. He works hard on his homework and classwork. Our next student of the month, Weldon Middle School student of the month is Lindsay Harrell. Lindsay is hardworking with hardworking students who always go above and beyond in the classroom. He is an eager learner, always willing to learn something new. Our next student is Weldon High School Career Academy's Matthew Horn Green. Matthew is an amazing student that always puts his best foot forward. We are excited to announce this young man our student number one. Right. And our next student of the month is from Ronald Valley Early College, Dylan Maniano. Dylan is a very thoughtful student. She is a natural learner and a model student for all other students at Ronald Valley Early College. And now for our employee of the month, Mrs. Jeffers. Ms. Jeffers from Weldon Elementary Global Academy. She's always willing and available to address the needs of all students and staff. And our parent of the month for Weldon City Schools, Bridget Moore. Ms. Moore is always involved with all students. She's motivated, and she helps all students with whatever they need to be successful. She reminds them that they can do whatever they put their minds to. And our last recognition at this time, I would like to recognize for Appreciation Week, Weldon City Schools counselors, our school resource officers, and also our wonderful bus drivers. Thank you for the.
Thank you, Ms. Lees. At this time, we'll have the superintendent's report, Dr. Simon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, those of you attending the meeting. It's my pleasure this evening to really highlight Black History Month. This is an important time of year for us, and there are lots of important things going on in the district. I just want to share that each of the schools is having an event or a series of events related to Black History Month. On a daily basis, the elementary school is sharing Black history facts with students via the intercom. The middle school is having a short play on the 19th, a UT Black History play. High school is having a Black music event, the history of Motown, on 2/23.
When is it?
February 23rd at 9:30. And they're also having a spirit week this week, every day, different things. Some of the marquee as you come in, you can see the different days. I'm sure Mr. Hopkins will be happy to share. Our bank is also having spirit week this week, and some of the days are Lions Day, Greek Day, HBCU Day. So we really just want to highlight the things that are happening in the month. And we appreciate the work of the principals and the teachers and the students. And one of the things I always like to do is highlight students. So as part of the history, that is Black history, we also have an oral tradition. And spoken word is a part of that. So we have two students, one from Harvard and one from high school, who are going to share with us. We're going to ask Lynn Manyaga, who is also our student of the month, is going to come and share an original piece that she wrote called Africans Rise.
Hi everyone, my name is Delaney Nyanga, and I'll be presenting to you a poem I like to call Africa's Rise. Africa was so grand and free, a story untold for listening to me. They took the richest land and war, leaving scars that still feel sore. Africa's bleeding, can't you see? Wasn't how it was meant to be. Before a place so full of grace, now memories lost and maybe open chase. Resources gone and people too. It's hard to rebuild, but we'll still push through. Africa's not just where I roam, it's your home too. A shame. Struggles big, but spirit strong. In every heart where we belong. A history hurt, but we stand tall. For Africa's rise, we give our all. Thank you.
From the high school, we have an 11th grader, Mr. Jakari Squire. He's going to share I Dream a World by Langston Hughes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would love to read a poem I have written by the one and only Black Langston Hughes, called I Dream a World. I dream a world where men, no other men, was harmed, where love will bless the earth, and peace is past the dawn. I dream a world where all will know the sweet freedoms away, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice lights our day. A world I dream where black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and where every man is free. Where richness will hang his head, and joy will like a pearl. Attend the needs of mankind, of all mankind. Such a dream, I dream I will. Thank you.
Again, thank you to the schools and to the students for all of their work that they're doing to highlight what is an important month for us, Black History Month. So thank you for the time, Mr. Chair.
Question, Dr. Simonton, would you stick yet like a list of all of the events that were going on at the school? Can we get that? And at one point, it was like a running list, but Ms. Kitty used to give us in our packets at that month, we would have it for the next month. Is that possible to get?
Still working on that. We'll get that to it.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to say congratulations to our two students for your presentation. Not only were they good, but it took a lot to come up before this podium and speak. So I just want to say congratulations and continue to work and continue to move forward. Move at your own pace, but move forward. Again, congratulations to both of you. Next, I would like to say happy birthday and happy anniversary to anyone that's listening. Also, we're coming up on spring break, which is quite a ways away. So I'm asking students, teachers, parents, stakeholders, everyone to be real diligent in getting us through this stretch. There's no more spring break or anything until we get there. And this is a long stretch, it's a hard stretch. But we just ask you to reach down and reach inside and go for the gusto until we get the spring break, and then you only got a little time before you come back and we end up the school year. So I do want to thank you all for what you've been doing thus far, and just ask you to continue to move forward. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, next we'll have financial report from Mr. Campbell.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Board Chair, Mr. Williams, Superintendent, Interim Superintendent Dr. Simonton, board members, staff, and guests. I would like to present to you this time your monthly reports. The first page is budget amendments. I have before you budget amendments, state number 17 through my fingers. Number 21, federal amendment number 19 and 20, and local amendment number 10. I present these amendments to you for approval if there's no questions.
Motion to approve the amendments. Motion to approve new amendments.
I make a motion to approve the amendments. Well, which numbers was it?
State number 17 through 21, federal amendment 19 and 20, and local amendment number 10.
Is there a second?
And before you, that is one, I do want to say local amendment number 10, that amendment is for those carryover funds that was presented in the audit back in December. Those are from the 22 that was not posted in the 23 school year. So that's what those amendments, that amendment is for.
Second.
Is there a second?
I second.
Oh, okay, very well. Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Barrett Robinson to approve the amendments. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
The monthly financial statements for the month of January begin with local funds special 8. Beginning revenues is $516,778.63. Total deposit for the month was $118,371.72. Bringing year-to-date total to $635,150.35. Beginning expenditures, $343,077.63. Total expenditures for the month was $73,271.34. Bringing year-to-date total to $416,348.97. Giving us a year-to-date total as of January 31st of $218,801.38. Bringing the unobligated fund balance as of January 31st to $1,419,659.35. Current expense, beginning revenue is $1,488,023.72. Total deposit for the month was $282,588.29. Bringing year-to-date total to $1,770,612.01. Beginning expenditure is $1,206,718.69. Total expenditure for the month was $204,376.98. Bringing year-to-date total to $1,411,095.67. Given net result as of January 31st of $359,516.34. Bringing unobligated fund balance as of January 31st of $636,004.51. Capital outlay, beginning revenue is $317,337.93. Total deposit for the month was $13,453.32. Bringing year-to-date total to $330,791.25. Beginning expenditures $82,424.50. Total expenditure for the month was $665,449.92. Bringing year-to-date total to $88,974.42. Giving a net result for the year of $241,816.83. Bringing unobligated fund balance as of January 31st of $1,134,110.83. Child nutrition, beginning revenues $367,631.78. Total deposit for the month was $59,251.24. Bringing year-to-date totals to $426,883.02. Beginning expenditure is $382,785.03. Total expenditures for the month was $69,402.58. Bringing year-to-date total to $452,187.61. Giving a net result for the year of negative $25,304.59. Bringing unobligated fund balance to as of January 31st of $230,492.41. Those are your financial statements for the month of January. Are there any questions?
One question, Ms. Campbell, I saw it after you had finished, but I'm looking on the, local amendment 10. The EC contracted services, it said it was an increase of $60,000. Do you know why?
That is the Medicaid money that was not posted at that carry over from 22 on the audit. And so what I did was I took it and put in EC contract, I split it up, and the total was $108,000. So I put it between EC contracts and, speech contracts.
Okay. And Dr. Simonton, one thing that we did say that EC was supposed to give us information each month, but I didn't see it, but we didn't know.
So we did not include it on the agenda. We did discuss it in our meeting, but we did not include it on the agenda.
Okay, because I thought we had said that anything dealing with money like that is supposed to present each month.
If I may, I think with Brad Robinson, we did say that, but we said there would be alternating months unless something occurred during the month and they would need to present it.
I'm sure it's always some occurring with EC, especially with the funding and stuff that we've been behind on, so. That's,
And I think that the financial update today demonstrates that we've got some additional funding into the district, which is a good thing, which helps out some of those contracted services that we need, making this damage.
oh, absolutely, but it still doesn't give us like numbers and stuff that we have requested, so, okay.
She will be on the agenda next month.
And so also, so the board would know, I have scheduled to start meeting with the directors to give them an update on all their budgets. I had to cancel today because, my house bill was out and I had budget amendments that had not been keyed. But I am gonna reschedule and I'm scheduled to meet with Ms. Fields on her budgets. DC director on her budgets on tomorrow. So we will be going over all their budgets, so they'll know exactly where they are.
Just with this website.
Ms. Campbell, on the capital outlay. Making sure I'm not looking at this wrong. The 241,000,
It should be a plus right there.
thank you.
Also in your package, you received the all PRC report as of January 31st. Are there any questions in reference to that report?
Action.
No, it's just, I think it's just for information. That's what they're receiving it for, just for information. And then last month, Reverend Sykes asked for this information and I told him as soon as I got that information, I would share. He wanted to know how the restart information, and I have the proposal that Dr. Simonton and I worked on. So I'll make sure you get that before I leave.
Okay,
We don't
thank
have
you.
it.
No, I just, yeah, I forgot to put it in the package. My apologies.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Campbell.
Can she pass that out to us now, so we won't hold you until the?
Oh, I didn't know she had it there.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry, shaking my hand and shaking.
Just get one of those.
Ms.
We only
Campbell,
need
you also
one, right?
Talk about the school supplemental tax.
Yes, well, as you know, every year we receive a request from the county office in reference to our supplemental tax rate. We are currently at the maximum amount, but we do have to have board approval if we want to increase or decrease. And of course, we cannot increase it, and I know we do not want to increase it. So I put that request before the board at this time, in reference to approving the supplemental tax rate, which is currently at 17 cents per $100 value on supplement on property taxes.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to, keep the, supplemental tax at 17%. Second.
It's been a motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Harrison to keep the supplemental tax at 17%. Are there any questions? If not, all. Yes, sir.
17%.
17 cents.
Yeah, 17 cents per 100.
Yeah.
I just paid taxes this week and it had 20 cents.
According to the letter
Oh, my.
that we received is 17 cents. Maybe 17 and a half, but I know it's 17 cents is what the current tax rate is.
It's 17.5. That was previous, in the letter that we got, it said the previous valuation was 20, and the current is 74.
Got to owe me some money back.
We used to approve it and increase it, but then several years before I retired, we found out they had already carried it to the cap. We didn't know they had carried it to the cap until we wrote the letter stating that we wanted to remain, or we was doing something that where you're already at the cap and you can't go any higher than the 17, according to what we was told.
And I know the motion is on the floor, but I mean, can I discuss that at this time?
Questions?
Okay. If we were already at the max, 20 cents per 100. And we did that because of, different things we were trying to do when we were trying to, recruit and be able to give teacher bonuses or teacher retention bonuses, things of that nature, just so we could have a little, wiggle room to do things like that. I guess we're just curious if we trying to, build morale and things in the district, why would we revert to a lower rate when we were already paying the 20? I'm just curious about that.
I can check into it tomorrow.
That's the max. The county said the max at 17.5.
I got you.
So it's 17, do I need to?
It's 17.5, 17.5.
My motion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I would like to make a motion to approve or stay at the 17.5 cents per 100 for our supplemental school pass. Second.
Motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Harrison that we stay at 17.5 cent supplementary tax. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, thank you, Ms. Kane.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have federal programs and student services. Ms. Geneva Reddy Faulkner.
Mr. Chair, Ms. Riddick Faulkner lost her mother. She's not able to be here tonight. And so I am going to share with the board the one action item that was needed out of the federal programs, and that is the reauthorization of the high school in Restart. And in your packets, and I apologize for this not being in your packets originally, but you should have a copy of an NCDPI feedback on December 2023 Restart annual report. NCDPI feedback on December 2023 Restart annual report. Currently in the district, the elementary school, the middle school, and high school are in Restart. High school is in cohort 1 Restart, and they actually started or began and restarted in 2017, 2018. Periodically, Mr. Hopkins and Ms. Riddick Faulkner participate in a review that is submitted to the state, and that results in the state providing feedback. And the document that you have is the final review and update for the high school's participation in Restart. And you'll see that, again, it talks about the cohort 1 that the high school was in, started in 2016-17. The authorization of the years 2023, 2024. Some of the elements that are part of this report relate to annual academic gain progress. And you'll see what those measures are there. In October of 23 and December of 23, Mr. Hopkins submitted information to the state. And Ms. Riddick Faulkner reviewed that. And upon him submitting that, I also signed off on that. You'll see on page 2 of the feedback document, it describes the flexibilities outcome monitoring form, which includes licensure information. You'll see the comments that were provided to us related to licensure, including that one of the responses on the licensure that we were at 50%. Teachers without a license. And the comment is that we are pretty close to the 50% threshold and that we needed to monitor that. And we'll be sure to do that with Mr. Hopkins as well as Ms. Dameron from HR to be sure that we do not go over the 50%. You'll see flexibility outcome 1 talks about increasing student achievement in the areas of English 2, math, and biology. And then at the bottom of that page, on page 3, identifies as measurable goals, the status of those goals being met, and the data that was used to support that. On the next page, you can see additional measures, goals. Related to that goal, comments provided by DPI that give us feedback on our goals related to English 2, math, and biology, that we have made progress and the staffing has helped to support the outcomes needed to support the high school being a restart. Additional feedback indicates that the goals that have been developed by the high school that were submitted in EC Star also support the work that's being done. The second flexibility outcome is that to increase student enrollment in CCP. CCP is college and career promise. There's essentially a course at the Halifax Community College. At the bottom of that page, you'll see the goal identified, the defined measures, course enrollment. We're seeking to increase the number of students who are taking college courses or college and career promise courses. You can see from year to year, 21, 22, 22, 23. The numbers, 21, 22, we had 7 students, 22, 23, we had 21 students. So the gain in terms of enrollment. On the next page, there is feedback from the state about the outcomes, which you can read. And there are additional comments at the very end, just providing support about the goals and the plan in EC Star, the use of budget flexibility related to test prep and parent resource. After careful consideration, you should also have a page that's separate from the single pages that provide you with the end of January. On the January dates, where Mr. Hopkins signs electronically, was really called, signed electronically, and I signed electronically related to restart status. Per DPI, in order for the high school to continue, the board has to approve reauthorization. It's our recommendation that the high school continue a restart in the next phase. Any questions? Oh, before I take any questions, Mr. Hopkins, would you care to share some?
Good evening. I ask that you all really, and please sincerely consider the reauthorization of Restart. When I first came back home and became principal of the school, we had 2 core areas where students were sitting, watching a Promethean board, just like we're watching tonight, receiving instruction from teachers across the country. With the flexibility in hiring, we're able to hire teachers who are vested in the area, that are homegrown, and they resemble the students that they're standing for. Personally, as a parent, I wouldn't want my child sitting here watching the screen for 90 minutes and listening to the instruction of a teacher if they cannot participate in hands-on activities with it. There's a new day and age, and Ms. Bird Robinson can relate to this as a school administrator. When we're interviewing for teachers, it's no longer teachers trying to sell themselves as much as us trying to sell our school to them. So it's a give and take, it's a 50-50 during the interview. And I just ask that you all please consider the reauthorization. We spent over $60,000 with K Elevate, with Elevate K-12, which is that computer program where we had teachers from other parts of the country teaching our children. It's very challenging when students aren't engaged into the instruction that's being provided on the Promethean board. Just recently, I interviewed two young men in their late 20s, one in early 20s, one in their late 20s. One from Northern Virginia that could have stopped anywhere along Interstate 95. I offered him the position for a PE and a health teacher. And flexibility allowed us to do so. I interviewed another young man that just graduated from NC State. He played high school football for me when I coached him over in Nash. His major was soil and garden, agriculture. He could have easily went to Southern Nash or Southwest Edgecombe and accepted a position. But instead, he chose intensively, accepted a position here with Weldon City Schools to teach social studies in our 9th grade students. This young man was an IB student. He will go back, he will get his certification. That's not a problem, but we have to provide that opportunity. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a
Thank you,
question.
Mr. Hopkins. Mr. Hopkins, just a minute.
Mr. Hopkins.
Yes.
The things that you talked about, this young man, or just employees in general, or candidates in general, that you're having conversations with in their interview, you do talk to them about getting their certification and the amount of time that they have. I know that a lot of that will come from HR, but you initially plant that seed, like you
Yes,
gotta
ma'am.
go back.
Yes, ma'am, that's a must. I don't want any candidate to be caught by surprise.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hopkins. Is there a motion to approve Weldon City High School Career Academy for Restart certification?
Chair Williams, while I'm not a fan of Restart, just by looking at this, since Mr. Hopkins has been the principal here, it's obvious there's been a turnaround. And evidently, he knows how to implement what should have been going on probably the entire time we've been in Restart. And for him to get up and make, that plea to the board tonight, I have no other choice but to believe in him and trust in him and approve the authorization. So I'm making a motion to approve the authorization.
I got a question. Okay, you never get a second first. Second. Been second by, it's been motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Barrett Robinson. Are there any questions? Reverend Sykes?
Yes. I just want to make sure that I'm not reading or misreading. This will put the high school back in restart status for 5 years. All right. I just want us to think about that as well. 5 years in restart.
Okay. Been motion, we already done the question. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Let's go this way. Ms. Hill?
Aye. This is just for this school.
And there's no,
Okay, Ms.
like, I know we're looking at doing the restart, but it has to be for 5 years. There's no 3-year, no, has to be.
Right. Saying that, that's a good plan.
Ms. Barrett Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins? Ms. Robinson?
Yes, but I would like Jason to go back and discuss with the other entity before we move forward, really, because we don't know what the future may hold with that collaboration that we agreed to tonight.
Brother Sykes? So, yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
reminds you, motion passes. The restart will be, part of the curriculum procedure for Weldon High School.
How does the funding change? What funding, because I know there are some additional funds. Will we still get at least the amount we got before? There won't be any less or anything because we're recommitting, right?
I think it depends on the enrollment. If that is the first pupil a lot. So we won't change it unless there's a change in enrollment. And so we still have the flexibility about, but
So the enrollment increase, the dollar amount increase, is that what you're saying?
we
Say yes, you said no, okay.
If the enrollment increases, our ADM amount that we have to transfer for the dollar amount decreases. So if the enrollment decreases, our ADM amount goes up. I think like last year, it was like the ADM amount was over $10,000. And we thought that's what it was gonna be for this school year. But because the ADM went up, the amount for people went down to like $9,000. So the more students, the less we have to transfer, what we have to transfer changes.
But it gives Mr. Hopkins flexibility to do some different things with that money.
As long
to
as
support
we
his
have
school.
enough to cover salaries and everything like that, yes.
I do have a question. This is Dr. Simonson.
Yes.
What happens, because right now, I guess, according to this, the certified staff, and that's the concern that I have with them, so. But certified staff has to be at least 50%.
Correct.
What happens if it drops less than 50%?
It cannot drop below 50%. And so what will happen is if Mr. Hopkins were to present a candidate for hire, the standard would perform him, that will change his percentage and then we cannot accept that. So it will be monitored by HR.
Okay. Close to.
Yes.
Okay, and thank you, Mr. Hopper.
Yes, thank you.
Next we have curricular instruction, Dr. Wendy Carpenter.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm here tonight to present the instruction report for the month of February. Third quarter benchmark testing across the district will end tomorrow. ACT testing for all 11th graders will take place on February 27th. ACT makeups will occur on March 12th. Access testing for our English language learners students will take place on March 5th. And ACT work keys will take place on March 6th. Learning focus, teachers were introduced to the learning activity strategy, which is part of learning focus on February 8th, during early release, or on February 13th during their professional learning communities. The next learning focus strategy PD will be held on March 7th. And all principals will be visiting a learning focus school in Fayetteville, North Carolina on February 23rd. To see a school-wide implementation of learning focused strategies being utilized in all courses. Cognia. The curriculum team has been working hard to finalize reports that are needed for the Cognia accreditation. All reports will be submitted by February 23rd, and we should know shortly afterwards when to expect the accreditation visit, which should occur between March and April. And the upcoming learning focus visit will be March 26th through March 27th. After school, our day-to-day tutoring, the remediation programs, and the Saturday Academy programs have kicked off to a good start. Students are attending, engaged, and taking advantage of all opportunities as we move into the end of the school year. Our interim executive director of human resources has been collaborating with our consultants from DPI to provide a mini conference for all of our beginning teachers. The first conference will be held on Saturday, March 9th, from 9 a.m. to 2:30, and the focus will be on instructional standards and licensure. Calendar drafts. In your packets, board members, you should see a draft 1 and a draft 2. We do not have a draft 3 of the 2024-2025 academic calendar. Both drafts consist of the following. The first day of school is August 19th, 2024 on one and on both, and on the last day of school for students is May 23rd, 2025. The instructional hours for both are the same, 1,093 hours for all schools. The number of days for teachers is 215. The number of early release days is 7. The number of annual leave days is 10, and the number of holidays are 10 on both, and the testing days are the same. The differences are as follows. The first day of school for teachers is August 8th on draft 1 and August 12th on draft 2. Draft 1, we have 174 instructional days, and draft 2, we have 173 instructional days. The number of required and optional days for teachers are 7 versus 8 days, or 13 versus 14 days. And the last work day for teachers on draft 1 is May 30th, 2025, and draft 2, June 4th, 2025. We are not requesting board approval this evening. However, we welcome any feedback, or you can follow up later with your feedback, but we will present the final draft at the March board meeting for approval.
Okay, Dr. Cobb.
Mhm.
If I may, I know y'all work hard on this. But my concern is, considering we're a low performing school, all our schools. I know we meeting the guidelines in terms of how many hours you have to complete, which is 1,025, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
However, we are 6 days below that. We meeting the requirements for hours. But I just don't see us taking 6 days out of the instruction for where we stay.
Okay.
And also, and you can bring this within this report, and also, the discrepancies in the first semester being 83 days and the second semester being 90 days. I would have a problem as a parent if I had one child that took the class the first semester and that child only had 83 days in it. But come second semester, my other child is in there 90 days. It doesn't seem like a lot, but a lot can be accomplished in 6 days. Now, I would like to see that balance out. It may be a day or so, but I don't see that change there. One other thing that might would help, I don't know when, let's say this year when we came back from the Christmas holidays, we had the whole week. I know it's good to the kids, the parents probably going crazy.
But remember that was built on when we thought we was gonna transition
Right,
in between
Okay.
December and January.
okay, so maybe you can look at that,
Okay,
but I would like to see something more equal in
More
terms of
okay.
and get back if possible to the 180 days.
Okay.
Okay, good.
And that's what I was saying about the testing for biology and, math 1 and all.
That's what I was looking at, because I was looking at this.
So you covered what I was gonna say.
That's what I was gonna say, and also, another thing is the days that, voting. Cause I know we had incorporated it into our calendar because they had came to us, the election, so, and I don't know when voting is gonna take place next year.
I think that's.
It's already in here, embedded in.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a,
Okay. I'll be here.
Yeah, they're optional work.
I was saying, was it in here?
Yes, it's in.
What day in March?
The first two in November. I don't know
What
about
about
March.
Tomorrow ain't thing,
Is it in?
It's not,
same thing.
Oh, you said it's not.
it's not, it's
Okay, it's not in March. We'll
no,
fix that.
it's not, nothing's up there in March.
Nope. Sure.
March.
March, it's not up there.
Okay, we'll fix it.
And
We'll take a look at it. My question is, have you done optional days for primary?
We did this year, but it just came up last year. This is something new. And so we went back and, we did, some amendments to the calendar based off of the, department, what is it,
I
the,
don't think they had asked before. I think they came to us.
they came to it, but then we came back and we came back to the
Right,
calendar.
I'm saying that's why we did it.
Yeah,
Because in the past, they had
We had
asked us
that,
about
exactly,
possibly using our, building for a voting site.
exactly.
So that's why we went back and included it for this time.
Any other thing I see, I'll email it to
Okay.
you.
Was there a question about summer school?
Yes, it is. So where are we with summer school?
Okay, so the summer learning plan will be brought before you on, March for board approval. However, we have been discussing the options because we have to really consider the transition of the high school going into the middle school. So there will be opportunities for us to have summer learning for our elementary students and for our high school credit recovery, but we have to look at physically where they're going to be. But the biggest concern right now is for our middle school students. Yes, we want to provide them opportunities, but physically with the transition of the new school, or transition of the high school coming into the middle school, we really have to, look at that plan and what options we can actually provide.
And they're all gonna be at the middle school anyway, so we haven't looked at that as an option. Since they're already, I mean, when school starts, they're gonna be at the middle school anyway, both groups.
Right, but we're transitioning during the summertime.
Right.
When summer learning will take place. So physically, the building will not be able, may not be conducive to us having summer learning there.
But you said we did that report.
Yes, you'll get the summer learning plans, in March. Any other questions?
And I had one comment, we can go ahead and look at that one right as well. So I saw in here that it's due February
The
23rd.
reports.
The reports are due February 23rd. And the team is comprised of, is it principals, teachers, parents?
Yes, so when they actually come, they will be visiting with a group, about 6 groups, focus groups. But as far as the documents being completed, the team just consists of the CNI team getting the work done.
So the schools aren't involved in it at all?
It is a district accreditation.
Understood.
So what they're looking for is our data. They're looking for the observations that we had to do for Cognia, which included the schools and the principals during that time. And then we had to do, stakeholder feedback. So that's how we're including people in the different data points that we have to disaggregate and analyze for the different reports. So that's how the principals, the community, the teachers, and our students are participating in the documents and the accreditation at this time that is due by February 23rd.
So you're saying that the principals and teachers are not a part of the actual team that's doing the work?
No, not creating the reports, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm saying in like getting things together.
No, it's just the CNI team. Are there any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Cox.
Chair Williams, I don't mean to, stop, but I want to back up too, because when Dr. Simonton, we had to go to the restart, and I wanted to ask a question about the federal programs. We just jumped to the restart authorization. For federal programs, I would like to have an update of the funding for each school, Title I funding that they have available. We hadn't gotten an update on that. So if she could, or you could, or someone could send us an update to see the Title I funding for each school.
And what's going on in Title I as a whole too, would be good. We know that, some of it's out, but I do know that before that, Dr. Carpenter will be at something with Title I, so I just want to know where we are with Title I.
Yes, we didn't have an update last month either, I don't think.
Correct. Do you want that update sent to you before the next meeting, or you want to do that?
Yes, before the next meeting, please.
Okay, operations, Mr. Hunter.
Meeting board members,
Good evening. Good evening.
yes, colleagues. Just want to talk with you briefly, some things that's going on in operations. So I'm gonna be, I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Within my presentation, so in your packet, some of the information you will not have in your packet, we had to add. We just received it, so I added in this afternoon, but you'll see it on the big screen. So from, operations, some of the things we've been working on this month is, of course, in grounds and maintenance is delivering our food when we have our food trucks come in. We place the portable heaters that we, have here at the high school. Had some issues with the walk-in freezer. We made sure we got that up and running. At the middle school, we had some concerns with the plumbing, so we had a new plumber come in that has really been, helping us with the issues that we had down there. So we had to replace the studded vents, so that we can get some good airflow, which was, really has been helping out with the issues that we've had at the middle school. Other restrooms in other areas, we've been, replacing gaskets, making sure we don't have any leaks around our urinals. And also at the middle school on the 19th, we will have M&W will be coming in to, remove some areas in the kitchen that was concerned from the, State Department for the health inspection. So they'll be coming in and getting those issues corrected, around the electrical panels, and doing some painting and replacing, repaired door locks at the, elementary school. So we have also started a, new initiative called The Move. Which everybody knows, we're moving from here at the high school on to the middle school. We have a move committee, and we have been meeting every week since, November. Increasing the committee, weekly. So now we're in phase 2 of the preparation. Just wanted to let you, get some information, let you know that we have a document that we've shared amongst everybody within the move committee. And within the document, we have certain tasks that we list so that, everybody can be abreast of what's going on, where we at within the move. And we're updating this on a weekly basis. And on Wednesday, February 14th, which was yesterday, we met at the middle school as a group and did a walkthrough, going around looking at the different classrooms, looking at the storage areas and spaces where the storage is, potentially going to be, housed at, as well as where the modular unit that we're looking at purchasing, where it's going to be housed at. We had a lot of great discussion. with that process, with all the great ideas that came about from that experience. Skipping these slides, right, we'll come back to those. So next, we'll talk about some transportation. So the last board meeting, there was some questions and concerns that were brought up. One was the use of the activity buses. Ms. Gupton just passed out a document that shows the approved ESER 3 amendment for the use of activity buses. Within this document, it shows that on November the 20th, that the wording of the grant was amended, added, so that now, once you read through the document, you will see that the wording is in favorable of using activity buses for, you know, sports or non-traditional, as it states, non-traditional educational opportunities or learning opportunities. So with that addition, all our activity buses will be able to be used for what purposes that we may need. Any questions about that? Also, questions about the electronic buses. In speaking with DPI, I spoke with
Electric buses.
excuse me,
Electric buses.
the electric bus. What I said, electronic.
Yeah.
That's my electronic technology. Right? So the electric bus. So I spoke with Jamie Dory. She's the program analyst at DPI, the Transportation Department. And I wasn't familiar with the process of how the procedures work for us as far as the school buses go. So in speaking with her and inquiring about the electric bus, she informed me that since we lease buses from Halifax County, that the buses were titled to them, and they would be the ones that would, you know, do the service along, which we know that. And that I would have to, or that we would have to, just work it out with Halifax as far as, how we're going to go through that process. So in that, then I reached out with, Mr. Tony Austin, who's the Director of Operations for Halifax County Schools. So initially he told me he had to find out which buses that we had that was eligible for this, to qualify for this particular procedure. And he also informed me that, if they being awarded the electric buses, that the infrastructure would have to be paid for initially by the district. The state was giving out the funds were for us purchasing the bus only. So that was the information that I found out about with the electric bus. Even though they're owned by or titled by Halifax County Schools, we just go through the process of asking for whatever we need for the buses, any safety, or whatever they're offering, and we want to have for our buses, then we just need to contact Halifax and let them be aware of it, what we're trying to do or what we want to do, and then we can, follow through with the process. Any questions about that?
Yeah, so where are we with Here Comes the Bus, as far as parents being able to use it, like the parent portal piece?
So with the current portal piece, where we at now is, we just got what they call a, up student, where we had to go in, Power School and download the file of all the new students that have enrolled. and, incorporate that into teams.
So will we be able to use that before the end of the school year? Is that something that we're looking to roll out for next school year?
But no, we're actually, we have parents that are using it now.
Okay,
So with the upstool, we're able or capable now of going in for any new student that came in after school began or Tim was already set or routes had been in place. Then we can go in and have those students placed on routes, and then we'll be able to see them within the program. Or they'll be able to see their bus coming, when they sign up for the program.
and as a parent, how would I know that this program is available to me? Like, at what point am I informed that this service is available to me? Here comes the bus.
Oh, well, we've sent out notices home, we did communication with Miss, Lee Easter to do, set out, on our calls, talking about it, it's posted on the website. So we've had several means of how we got the information out to, that this program is already going on, and how to download the program and install it on your phone, which apps it is, because it can be kind of confusing, there's two apps that's out there. They have the Edge Large Light, and then they have the regular version. So we made sure we put on our website that we want to use the regular version.
So as a new parent, am I told this, like, at registration, when I register my child? Since it seems like that our students that are already here are aware, but as a new, is it done like through registration, or we're not sure?
I'm not sure about that. That's something that we can get out to the schools and let them know if they have, but the schools are aware of it. They did have training. We had individuals at the school to be trained on, how to use the program and how to, let others how to use it.
So they can assist the parents,
They can.
like the school.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
With Edge Lodge, with the time and, attendance, project that we have going on. So on the 13th, technician, he came out and installed the wiring harness and the brackets for the tablets. We have the tablets. We're just waiting now for, Mr. Myers, Travis Myers, he's the, program engineer that's assigned for this project with us. We're just waiting on him to, coordinate a date in order for us to install the, tablets on the bus and, set up a training. South Arm grant, we applied for 13 illuminating stop arm units. The illuminating units, they illuminate, as you can see in the picture, they light up. Not only just the red flashing light, but the whole octagon lights up and it's reflective. This make make them more visible in any type of condition. Really grabs the mobile motorist attention with ongoing traffic and make the buses more visible, especially in the weather conditions that are with low visibility. Any questions about that? Any questions, all of you?
Mr. Hunter, the next meeting for, with
Ratio, that's coming next.
Okay,
I gotta come back for
okay.
new school updates. All right. Excuse me, I'm not this. So last month, we came to the board and presented the, contract for the new chiller at the middle school. You guys have the contract now, so tonight we're asking that, we can get the contract signed for the new chiller, so we can get it to the, tower heating and air, and they can go ahead and get it ordered.
Prove that. Prove that for me, other answer. You need other answer, be that last.
Get it done. Get it signed. Get it signed.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hahn. Okay, next, time for a break. Do you want a break or do you want to go to public forum? Do you have anyone at public forum?
Let's keep going, keep going, keep going.
Here we have two signed up for public forum. We have Ms. Regina Brooks.
Ms. Brooks. Ms. Brooks, she's not here.
And we have Ms. Emily Brett.
Ms. Brett. She's not here. I think her father had passed, I'm not sure.
Those are all we have signed up.
Okay, so we move on to, A, master board training. And that was me. With the master board training, we had two sections. The first session, of course, everyone attended. We had a good session. And then on the second session, excuse me, only 4 board members attended. That was Ms. Harrison, Ms. Hale, Ms. Jenkins, and myself. Ms. Pat Ashley, who's conducted the workshop, she had requested from the first meeting that some homework assignments will be turned into the central office. And she would pick it up from there so that she could determine what category you would be in out of 4 categories. However, we couldn't do that because she didn't get all the reports in from everyone that was in the first workshop. So we didn't have it. We did the second session. And in the second session, we talked about whether we wanted to continue, because she said it wasn't worth it, even though she was making money, it wasn't worth it for the school district to pay that money out, which is $1,500 per session. And we didn't want to go early in the day, so her time was from 4 to 8. And that meant we had to pay for lodging, we had to pay for a meal, and of course, travel. So she wanted to help us, but she just didn't feel it was right for her to come down here and take money and only talk to 4 of the 7 board members. So at that point, she reached out to the individuals that were not there. And when I contacted her, I communicated with her, there was no response. She had to order supplies for the workshop, and she had to order those a week ahead of time. So we placed a date and a time, which was on Monday at 5 o'clock, or some response so we could get a feel for it. She did not have any contact from those individuals, so it was my decision to cancel that date then. And to check with this board and see which direction you wanted to go. If all the board members not gonna be there, then it's just not accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. Of course, we will have lost approximately $3,500, but that would be a lot better than losing about $5,000 coming up. So, my question to the board is, do you want to continue? Will you be here? Because I don't want another master board training session when we only have 4 board members there. So at this time, from the pleasure of the board, what commitment are you willing to do to be at those meetings?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
Pat Ashby did call me and we had a very long and great conversation. So I don't know how that communication did not get back to you, but she did call me, and when she did call me, I answered and we talked. I can attend virtually, use the technology that we paid so much money for. So that's how I can attend. I do believe I sent that back to you, in an email.
I know you said me once said you would recuperate.
And I could virtual like I am tonight.
She had a conversation where you said you would recuperate.
I'm
And
talking about the email I sent to you. I told you I could be virtual when you sent something out to us about it.
okay, if you say that you did, then well, there's still leave the other ones there. Because for the second one, you didn't request to be virtual. There was just no response.
And Mr. Williams, Ms. Ashley called me as well. But I believe I was ill during that time.
Right.
And so she did call me. We did communicate by email, and I had planned to be here on the 8th. But of course, I saw the email that it was canceled. So
Well,
yes, I would like to continue.
well, and I saw your email as well that you sent back that you said you had been ill, but we had sent a request that you respond by 5 o'clock that evening. And you responded, I think it was 10:29 PM at night.
Absolutely.
So I told her to cancel because 5 o'clock was the time that we had set because she had to order supply. So yes, you did respond. It was after that time. So I told her to cancel.
And again, I was ill.
Okay, I know,
But
but you
I
said you would let
communicated with her.
you said you would let her know
Right,
by Friday, by the end of the week.
right. I
But the end of the
communicated
week would have been
with her.
4 days.
But yes, I am
after
in
that.
favor of going forward with it.
Uh-huh. So let's take a vote then. Ms. Hale,
If the full board is gonna participate, then yes, I'm gonna participate, but if not, then I'm not going to.
so your answer,
Yes, if the school board. Because the training should be, it's for the full board.
Ms. Barry Robinson,
I've already given my answer. I
yes.
totally support it, yes.
Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins. Ms. Robinson,
I thought I had already answered you in writing and verbally. Yes, virtually.
okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Reverend Sykes,
Yes.
and mine is yes. Let me say at this point, everyone has said yes, that they would be in attendance. If we don't have full cooperation at the NATE's master training meeting, I would tell Ms. Pat Ashley to cancel those sessions. And that is where we're in the master board training. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Next, we have policy. Yes, sir.
She gonna send, I
Those,
guess, we going
let
back
me
to-
give you those dates.
okay.
Those dates would be March the 14th, April the 11th. And she can, because I had to discuss this with her because the last one was stopped for February. Well, I'm hoping it can be May the 9th. And those are Thursday, the second Thursday of each month, which we have already obligated to Wellington City School system as days to meet. And we committed that second Thursday as a commitment to the stakeholders, the community, the parents, the voters, that we would use the second Thursday and the third Thursday. So I selected the Thursday, the second Thursday as that date. So your commitment is expected and appreciated. Okay, next we have policy updates.
Yes, board members, you have a list of policies. This is just part of the NCSBA's standard policies to leave the school service. These are updates, many of which relate to changes in state law or changes in federal law. All of that flows down and is reflected in the policies presented. This is just a presentation for first read. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those now or when they come back to the board at the next board meeting for action.
Okay, new school update.
The new school updates, so the report that we met with Ratio. And on February 2nd, we had our steering committee meeting. And we had a real good turnout. We had, board members were there, Mr. Williams was there. We had, of course, the Wellington City Schools, staff was there. Dr. Carpenter, Dr. Simonton, myself, Mr. Johnson, maintenance supervisor, Clancy and Thieves, our new construction at risk team was there, and of course, Ratio themselves represented. So, I'm sorry, and the principals. We had a real good meeting. It was kind of lengthy, but well needed. A lot of information was given out. There's a lot of changes that is happening every day. Now we're at that point. We're at the 60% construction document stage. They have already been turned into the necessary places where they need to go. Clancy and Thieves have they have hit the ground running. So once they got the documents, they start churning out and doing whatever they need to do to get caught up with the process as they, started. Well, they feel like they started a little late, but they have finished their 60% projections. They just sent that out. That is something we can share with the board once see what those projections look like. They've also shared it with DPI, so they're going through their process of reviewing the 60% documents. Ratio has also submitted them to the Department of Insurance for their comments. They're looking at preparing the feasibility and demolition of a school checklist. Their checklist will be shared with Halifax County. They're working on a draft so that they can show it to the Board of Commissioners on February 19th, which is Monday coming. They did have a change order. Ratio had a change order for the abatement package where they need to go back and do another soil test. So that has been approved, and we should be getting the results from that. We're also in the process of selecting a commission agent. This particular person works closely with the lead contractors to ensure that the building or the structure project is meets the operational requirements of the client. Their job includes them being like the overseer of the design, any type of installations, testing, maintenance of all components and materials and systems. So we'll be working on that RFQ, I'm sorry. And we'll be putting that out real soon. We also talked about opportunities for reusing the brick from the existing building. And we have some visuals that we want you to look at tonight, just to give you some ideas of some things that they've been coming up with. They are taking ideas, but, we need to make a decision. We assume that we hope we can get one, tonight. But as you can see from the pictures, these are the, some concrete walls. And they have little ridges on them, so they have a difference in the type of ridges that can be on the wall. That's one of the, things that they want us to make a decision on, looking at, we want the abstract ribs or uniform ribs. As you can see here, we have some, monumental signage, use of, what we can use for the existing bricks that we want to use. That first picture is a traditional brick, where you see is the majority of the brick, as well as the concrete. And then the bottom, that number 4, I think that's 4. Where it has some metal as well as some of the existing brick mixed in. So there's some ideas that we could use for the brick.
Excuse me, Mr. Hunter, is there gonna be a signage in front of the middle school as well, just like the high school?
Yes, the size will be
So
for
it'll be the same,
those.
both of the schools will have different sign, I mean.
They have their own
different
sign.
schools. Okay.
So this particular one just shows, give us an idea or examples of possibility places where we can have the brick placed at. As you see, you got the entrance ways at number 1. You have your entry seating walls, number 2, your decorative, features, number 3. Different areas of the layout where we could possibly use the brick. Or, I think it was brought up as, we can give to the alumni or make a fundraiser as well as, if you want to, try to make a sale brick to some alumni.
That's a good thing, because people have asked if they could purchase like the book, some of the brick for like memories or memoir or whatever.
Right. Close up examples of how the brick can be used for a signage. Here's an example of a entry seat wall with concrete on top. So as you can see, we have some low seating areas where we can, students can be outside and possibly wait on the bus or the cars, come pick them up and the brick can be used that way. Decorative, features or mirror. As you can see, the WCS is in blue, but that's actually the brick itself. As well as the charger, lightning bolt. So these are just some other samples and examples of how the brick can be used.
What's that beside the lightning bolt?
I'm sorry,
What was that beside, right there beside the lightning bolt? What is it?
what do you mean what's beside? So it's got the date,
Yeah, it looked like a bee.
no, it's the date,
That's good.
What day?
1903.
Okay. Yeah,
She's talking about, right,
The third
right,
picture.
where's the E?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just another sample of what, possibly, not for us, I think that's somewhere, another school. I'm assuming. And it's a nice picture of what the school. So those are opportunities that we can, think about and see how we want to use the existing rate. Clancy and they have, commented that the project would, and, we need to know which direction we want to go. Because they need to know as soon as possible, because that's one of the things they would like to put into their bid packages. So that the contractors will know that this is something that we want, so they, when they start demolishing, they can survey the land and see which brick they wanna, try to preserve. Or be a little bit more delicate with, so they don't,
Sorry, can you go back to the slide that has the different options for brick usage?
Going with the poor signage or.
Or, that, that was, and mine would be fundraising. So the four options are on the slide, mine would be fundraising.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the other slide, right?
That's
Okay.
So really what we need a board direction on is how do we want to go, because I think that is at a place where they need to make some decisions, not decisions, but moving forward. And we will need your direction about how we want to repurpose the brick. Either or multiple of those options that are listed, including a fifth option of fundraising. We just would like to be able to take that back to the Clancy and Bay so that they can know how we're gonna move forward.
Well, I like, personally, for me, I like the money for signage. Well, I like all of them. All four of those options.
All four?
I do.
Go back to Mr. Holmes.
What about the fundraising?
That was part of it, wasn't it? Well, the fundraising.
And we definitely get fundraising.
Yeah, five, okay. It was four. I like all
You said the
five
fundraiser is just for number 5.
That would be a fifth option,
options.
a fifth use of the brick.
So I definitely would like to have it for the signage. And then I would like to have it for, go back to the next one. No. Right there. I like the seat walls, to use it for that. Yes. The decorative features, because you can do like a brick garden or something in the front. And then go back to the.
Go back to the option.
I came out here, now.
Okay, and see, gift to alumni, I like that also. Well, I thought that was the building, but anyway.
Going to gift or
No,
fundraising?
Fundraiser.
So,
So not gift. Not gift.
Ms. Holmes, if I may, they also said with the fundraising, it was talked about rather, because if you clean the bricks up, you would have to pay for that cost. But we talked about maybe selling the brick as it is with the mortar and everything on it. And Ms. Deborah was there and she mentioned that, they did that and they put it inside a case and put a label, on it, attached to it where the brick was from, maybe what years or whatnot. And she said they sold that at $100 a brick. So that's the thing, whether we want to try to sell it with the mortar or try to clean it up, which would be additional cost. But that's gonna subtract what you can make
I
from
think
it.
that cleaning them up will take away from,
Right.
take away from.
Because
So-
people that I talked to.
They
just
know what
ask
it
for
is,
some
yeah,
brick.
exactly.
And then the next thing, we would have to have somewhere to put it so people wouldn't just come over and grab a brick and take off running. Back to, that'd be the first place.
I know that's.
So I heard fundraising, seat walls, signage. And we need to bring
We
this in.
signed. We signed the job.
I like the digital one with the,
Let's go back again.
Like the sign,
Yeah.
Back to the signs.
Three,
That was it.
three.
I like,
No,
two B.
That's what we, number two B. It's like,
Personally, we building a new school. I don't think we need to use any old brick. We need to just have a new sign. Let's just do the brick with the, you know, the little, seats. We can do that, or, you know, put it in the walkway. I think that's, to me, it would take away from, you know, what we're doing with the new school and, you know, the different color schemes and all that we got, to put the red brick up there. I think we just need to do the new sign, period. Don't put, you know, the brick from the existing school in the sign, but let's just use it like we talking about walkway or build a wall, the seat, or, you know, using the brick at the fundraiser and just choose one of them signs altogether.
Does two B have bricks in it? It's two,
yes,
the old brick. Two B? Yeah.
I don't know if it's old.
That's why I chose it, and for that reason too, because this is the state of the art school that we're building
I don't
in. That's,
think it has bricks.
okay, and that was more,
I don't know, 2B doesn't. It doesn't
yeah, that's
have
why I
that.
chose two B.
Okay,
It's digital.
Digital sign.
okay, so what we need to do then is decide on what type of sound we want to use. Is there anyone who likes number one? Anyone who likes number 2A? 2B,
I like two B.
okay.
William, I got a quick
three.
question. With the digital sign, what's the difference? Because it, you know, it has the different electronic components and all that, but I'm in favor of it, but I'm just saying, what is the,
One has an angled top and one is a level.
and now I'm talking about the components within it. How, you know, that's gonna be running electrical, that the digital sign. So I'm just talking about, thinking about costs in the future. Did they say anything?
No, they haven't got that for you.
Because that's gonna be a whole lot more expensive than just the regular brick. Now, I like the digital sign, don't get me wrong. Now, I like the one with the little slant like it is. I like that. What you said that is 2B? Yeah, I like that.
Okay, anyone for three? Anyone for three? Anyone for four? Okay, then, the only one that was, everyone that was 2B. Is that, common, consensus of everyone for 2B?
Yes.
Was I, Ms. Jenkins? Ms. Barry, excuse me. Ms. Robinson? Ms. Robinson?
I'm fine.
Okay, so we'll do 2B. And then the fundraising would be the bricks with the mortar.
That's it.
And as is, and maybe we look into what Ms. Dillon was saying, like putting it in a little glass case. Cause you'd be charging them for. and then-
plastic, so really.
Plastic. Yeah, plastic case, and then the tag on the bottom of it saying where it's from and whatnot. Okay,
And don't forget the wall.
we gotta go back to the wall there, whether we want a uniform abstract reels or uniform reels.
That on the bottom. That right there with the walkway, I can't, what is that? They say brick, what?
Brick band.
Brick band, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That's what I was thinking of.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And the seating, to put that, you know, like the garden or whatever you're talking about, yeah, we can do that. And that would be a nice, that brick banding. Because I guess we're gonna have something outside that kind of go from the high school to the middle school. That would be nice to put that in between that.
Okay. So is everybody in agreement, we're having the, brick banded?
Is there any way to get it, engraved? And people could,
Well,
Possibly, I mean, that's just a form of, I'm just thinking of ways to generate money, in the district.
They spoke on engraving.
And getting them engraved and then put them in between the two schools so that. Okay.
What did they say about engraving?
They didn't recommend it due to the age of the brick. And once you start, putting that pressure on, it's gonna go from.
They're gonna do what?
So start from and break.
Think we got them, well, we're at college.
Time and pressure, time and pressure.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right.
I like that wall. Did that say feature? What is that?
Yeah, roll that right.
Yeah, yeah. That writing is small too. I like that wall feature too. I think we could use plenty of bricks and, you know, to build a wall around this, you know, the seating area. Almost like, you know, the mural type, like you're talking about, and put the seating in between there and have a space, you know, where it won't be completely closed, but like a semicircle, I gotta say. That would be nice too.
Okay, where y'all going? Wall or no wall?
It's no more for me.
And so this is,
Wait a minute.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So this wall that the one that's on the end, on the right, this is the one we're looking at?
Yeah, that's one we're talking about now, the wall.
And we're looking to do what with that? Put that where? Around seating?
Go ahead, Riverside.
I was saying you could, like, not a wall, straight wall, but you could put like a semicircle, like this, and you could put the seating inside and you can put the garden where all you're talking about, you can put a nice flower thing, it'll be cement around it and, you know.
Like over where they had
Over there in King Paul. That's right, in Ronald Rat, but not theirs it's two semicircles and it got a space, you know, across, but I'm just talking about one semicircle. And put seating in there, and then you could put some flowers, you know, and all in there and have something where they can sit around, you can actually walk around it, the little seating and all. That's what I was thinking about, I mean, it don't have to be, but just an idea.
Okay, let's go.
I
Ms. Hill,
like the brick banded and also the seating.
we're good with it. We already got the band and the seating, okay?
Okay, that's, no, I don't like the wall.
The wall, okay. Ms. Barry Ross,
No wall.
Ms. Harrison,
No wall.
Ms. Jenkins, Ms. Kim,
I'm fine with the banding. And if we did the wall, it wouldn't be as tall as that wall. It would be about half that. So you could
Right.
see over it. Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about now, the wall.
Okay, no, if we're gonna do the banding, I'm good with that.
Okay. Brother Sykes,
Let's keep it going, we ain't got to worry about no wall, let's just keep on going.
okay.
We ain't worry about no wall.
No walls. Okay, let's go back to the top. The first one for the concrete.
Going back to the what now?
The very first one for your cement, your ribs, whether abstract or uniform. Okay, we have abstract rib and uniform rib. Who's in favor of the abstract ribs?
The first one
In
is like
one.
all abstract, right? The first one is all abstract.
Yeah, where they come in different sizes, different widths and whatnot. Anyone for that one?
I am, I like it too.
All right, well, abstract is a yes, no.
And the bottom is what? I can't see uniform.
Uniform with all the same width.
I think I like the abstract.
It's one for me, Ms. Hales, one is different, so yeah.
Yeah. Ms. Berry
I'm
Roberts,
good with the abstract.
Ms. Harris,
One, yes, abstract.
Ms. Jenkins, Ms. Kim,
One is nice to me. I like number one.
Brother Sykes.
We go on with it. The niggas are decorating, let them go ahead.
Okay, so abstract ribs. That's what we are. That take care of everything?
Well, with that, yes, sir.
Right.
I just got a couple more things. I'll be-
Okay, yeah, I was just talking about that.
Yes, sir.
I won't rush you to sit down, not yet.
All right, so just a couple more things. On Monday, February 19th, we're gonna have a, FFE, which is the Furniture, Fixtures, Equipment Conversations. Which means Rachel will be coming in. We're gonna have and also we're gonna have the furniture walkthrough. So the people from, the furniture company, they're gonna come in, we're gonna walk around, or they're gonna walk around with the principals and have their conversation, as well as we're gonna also have the 60% turn page, review with the different groups. We did it, initially. And we had some real good feedback. So hopefully, the groups will now see all of the feedback that they submitted. They'll see those changes, on paper now. And then if there's any other things that we need to, make some adjustments, that'll be the opportunity we have to be able to do that. So this is gonna be virtual as well as, face to face. We'll meet here.
So that point was, just for everybody's information, this really becomes the last time to make a change without a cost being involved. So the 60% design has happened. The next meeting that happen on the 19th will be really the last chance for stakeholders to have input without there being any cost associated with the changes at a later date.
What time?
We're gonna start at, 8:15 a.m.
You said here.
Yes, ma'am. And they'll be here all day, so we'll be into 3:30. Also on the, February 23rd, Ms. Deborah Conley, she's the, from Clancy and Dean. She'll be hosting a Meet the Contractors event. We're gonna have it here on the 23rd from 12 to 3. And this particular event is just for the contractors that they're gonna be, invited just to get familiarized with, those that are in the area, as well as other contractors that they know. To come by, give them an opportunity to see the area, see whatever you're working at, if they happen to get, whatever they may bid for, whatever. But it's just a time for them to come out and just meet with the contractors. And that'll be from, 12 to 3. Here at the meeting center. And Ms. Hale, to answer your question, the next meeting will be February 21st. And that's a staff meeting and it will be virtual.
Be what?
It'll be virtual.
What time?
That's at 10 o'clock. Any questions?
But Ms. Conley, if I may add to, on the 23rd, the day when the individual gonna be here for building, if any of you know or anyone that subcontract, they invited to come out, they may be able to win a bid. They have to meet state guidelines, but it's a chance for, it might be some paint, some, plumbing or whatever the case may be to come in as subtractors and that way we can get some of that money in wealthy if they're from wealthy.
That's right.
You said, it's gonna be where now, because I thought, I got it on my calendar, the gym, so it's not
It's
gonna
in
be.
the gym from 12 to 3.
I'm gonna move to the gym.
That's what I have,
You talking on the 19th or the 23rd?
23rd.
23rd.
Okay.
Where,
It's gonna be here?
in here,
Okay.
In the meeting
Oh,
center?
all right, then, the media.
I hadn't heard the gym.
Okay.
That's my first time hearing that. But I'll double check with this Colleen. That's right.
yeah.
Any other questions?
No, sir, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hunt. Okay, next we have the needs-based public school capital fund supplementary grant application.
Mr. Chair, board members, in your packet, you have a copy of, need-based public school capital code for 2023-24 supplemental grant application. As you all are aware, the district, through the county, applied for and received the $50 million need-based public school capital fund. And this supplemental grant application is being developed by, or being, put together by the county ratio. This is a blank copy. It is in process now. I just want to point out a couple things to you. To apply for the supplemental grant, you have to already been approved for a public school construction grant. And you cannot have started building on your project. This supplemental grant is up to $12 million. And it has to be submitted by the deadline. You can see on the second page that the application opened on January 8th. The deadline is June 30th. In conversation with the county, the county manager has indicated that they plan to take this to the county commissioners on Monday, February the 19th. And prior to that, the Board of Education needs to indicate that they would like to pursue this supplemental grant. There is a matching fund part that the county will be responsible for, just as they were for the original grant. The evaluation of the applications will be based on the actual bids. So the dollars and the application are related to that being done by ratio and now fancy freeze. If you'll turn over to page 4, you'll see that the contact information is there's a county contact and then there's a school unit contact. And we will have to fill in that part before it goes to the county commissioners. On page 5 is really the application. It's about 2 pages. The current NDPSCF grant funding that we've been awarded is $50 million. We are going to be requesting the supplemental grant for $12 million. The local matching funds are, for the original grant is $2,500,000. And the additional local matching funds for the supplemental grant is $600,000. So that will be the total amount available for the grant. Some other parts of this application where it says have construction documents been completed for this project. The answer is no, but the statement is that the 60% construction documents have been submitted. The anticipated or actual bid date is going to be July 31st. The plan started in construction is August 21st. And the planned completion date of construction is 5/12/26. The part at the very bottom briefly describes the need for the supplemental grant. And this is language from ratio construction cost increases due to higher than usual inflation since grant award have pushed estimated construction costs past the budget available. And then that's essentially the grant. On the last page, which is page 7, signed by the chair of the county commissioners and the chair of the road school board. Any questions?
I do have a question, Dr. Simon, because, and maybe I should have asked it just a few minutes ago when we were talking about the ratio, but as far as the individuals that stay on the neighboring street. I know they come up before about the width of the street and school buses and things of that nature going back and forth. Where are we with that?
So we had a conversation about that at the last meeting, and we asked, Ratio and Clancy and Days to go back to the Department of Transportation
so Bernard Hall actually provided us with the actual report that it's done originally. And so Department of Transportation has indicated that that road is sufficient for buses. I'm not a civil engineer, but it doesn't seem to me that that road is sufficient. So we're going to request a review of the existing transportation study before it gets started.
Okay. And we should have that completed before any ground is broken or,
Yes,
okay.
and Bernard Hall, we haven't mentioned, was at that meeting, and he's gonna help us with that.
Okay.
And he's the owner's rep. He will be playing a larger role in the project going forward.
And I attended a meeting once before, and the neighbors were here at that meeting, and they expressed concerns, so I was just wondering, we have people that's been staying there on that street forever. And we're about to build a school, and the entrance for the middle school will be coming down that street, right? The buses will be going.
The bus,
Yeah,
you're right,
will
yes.
be going down that street. So that's gonna be a lot of traffic, more traffic than what they're used to. And for to have a school bus, a bus can go down there one way with no problem, but if you got someone coming out, it's gonna be a problem.
We agree.
Well, I will say, that's something, is that, Ms. Hall said that until 3 years ago, if the road was built, it was kind of like state funds. But then about 2 to 3 years ago, they changed it, and the Department of Transportation would have to pay for any expansion done to it. So you said that most time, their answer is no at first, but go back and. Yeah.
You ready for a motion? You ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
Motion that we move forward with the, grant application for the additional up to $12 million budget.
Second.
There's been a motion by Reverend Sykes and second by Ms. Bird Robinson. So we move forward. Get the supplementary grants. Are there any questions? All in favor? All
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Nate, we had a consent agenda. Any questions about the consent agenda?
So,
Motion.
Go ahead.
so are we using, this is just a replica of the 2021?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, on March 20th, GPI is coming to audit our, beginning teacher support program. The last one that was approved for your district was 2021. It contains all the parts that should be in it. So what you have is, I took that document and highlighted those changes that I need to make on it. I'll make those changes and then have the board chair, today's date if it's approved, and then we'll submit it to DPI. So what you see there should be happening. Now, notice the date is 2021. I could not find one older than that. So, the person that's working with me for the region, we decided to start there. And so when they come to do the audit, they will look for some specific things in place. If they're not, we'll be given a corrective action, and then we'll have 5 years to correct whatever is not in place.
And the things that are highlighted are the things that will be changed or taken out?
Yes, yes, and then I gave you that copy, so if I missed something like, somebody's specific name or date or anything you see, that I need to make sure we take out of and keep it very general so that, it's not tied to a person or a group or a specific university.
Or specific amount of money?
Correct. And I do know that that is funded for, anytime there's money used in that, it's out of Title II.
Type two.
Title II, PRC 103.
So is this plan being followed through though?
Meaning right now? No, ma'am, it's not, it was not being followed through now, and nor was it being followed before I got here. So we're saying now, this is gonna be our plan, and you're required to have that plan by general statute.
Yes. And it had been.
Mr. Martin did that one. Who? Christy Martin. What was her name? Christy Martin.
Okay. So you want us to approve this with the necessary, the changes?
Yes, would please.
Make a motion that we approve the,
Just gonna approve the consent agenda.
Yeah. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Ms. Hill.
Auditors contract.
And Sal.
You seen the auditors? Okay, wait a minute, let me see this. Okay, yeah, let me see this. Gotcha. Second.
Okay, it's been motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Barry Robinson to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda approved. Superintendent's, search.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to, move that we table this vote right now until after we come out of closed session. There needs to be some more discussion.
Second, we're gonna take care of it. Right? It kept,
Right, so a motion to table just
Yeah.
moves it further on the agenda.
right,
Motion to postpone would push it to another meeting, but the
Right.
motion is to table, so that means,
First, it'll go to
yeah, the
closed
board
session.
approves a motion to table until after close, then it's just the very next thing after close.
right.
Come,
So I'm taking my motion. That motion? Yeah.
No, she seconded, Ms. Barry Robinson, I seconded that we just,
declared,
yeah.
declared the close.
So her motion takes priority over yours, so now the board is considering the motion to table, there needs to be a second.
Okay, it's been motion by
I just
Ms.
second.
Robinson to change this, to move the superintendent search to the closed session. And it's been seconded by Reverend Sykes. Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Superintendent search has been moved to closed session,
After close.
after closed session. All right, a motion to go to closed
I
session.
make a motion to go back into closed session. Second.
A motion by Ms. Hill and second by Ms. Harrison to go back into closed session. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Well, now back into closed session.
Thank you all for coming.